So there's a letter here, and there's a couple of interesting parts that I want to mention. So it seems to me like this is coming from the high courts. There's a position that's open. Chief Judge Dennis Maes is retiring from the 10th District. And so whenever a judge retires on his own accord, there's no point in time. You cannot kick a judge out. You can try to retain them, and if they're not retained, I don't even know what the fuck happens. The judicial system has been running themselves in Colorado for a really long time. Really long time. And this even explains sort of what happened. So essentially he retires on his own. He'd been in there for 16 years. But once the new person gets in there, the initial term, once they're appointed by this board, which I'm going to get to the board here in a second, where the board comes from. But first term, so whoever took over for Dennis Maes, they get a provisional term of 2 years. Thereafter, if approved by the voters, they get a term of 6 years. So as soon as they're appointed, bam, 2 years, they're a judge. They're a judge. I think the nominating commission nominates them, and then the judge appoints them, or the governor appoints them. So once the governor appoints you, you got a job for 2 years. You get to run a fucking tyranny, right? Whoever the cops happen to nab and bring it in before you, then you get to be like, I'm the judge, I am so important, you have no rights, the cops are always right, get the hell out of my face. Right? Okay, so that's interesting there. That's how it works. Provisional term of 2 years, and then if you're approved by the voters, you get a 6-year term. Fucking 8 years? That's President, that's George Washington, 8 years long? Nah, I don't like anybody being in the same position longer than 8 years. What the fuck? You're better than George Washington, you're better than the president, and you should move on. You should raise people up and move on. MoveOn.com. So, sitting there taking a look at this letter, and it's in there saying you can get the application forms from the office of the ex officio chair of the nominating commission, Justice Brian D. Boatwright, Suite 800, Denver, Colorado, and at the office of the district administrator, Bobby Griffin, Pueblo County Courthouse. So, who the fuck is Bobby Griffin, and who the fuck is Brian D. Boatwright? And then, as I'm going with these questions, who the fuck is Michael L. Bender? I guess he's the Chief Justice, it says there, so we'll assume that's the case. And then Gerald Maroney, Robert McCallum, or John Sarchi. Is that the people that's writing this up? So they're writing it under Michael L. Bender's name, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And then his underlings are writing it. So if you have any questions, don't contact Michael Bender. Contact one of his underlings. And then in order to be a judge, you must be a qualified elector of the 10th Judicial District, meaning you must be registered to vote in Pueblo County. And then you must have been admitted to the practice of law in Colorado for 5 years. So those are your two qualifications. Are you a registered voter in Pueblo? Good, good, good. Have you been a lawyer for the last 5 years? There is a state that they're trying to create. I think Franklin, the state of Franklin. It was the eastern part of Tennessee. So they never made the state. But they were going to make the state, and they're going to ban all lawyers and doctors from being a part of the ruling establishment. No lawyers, no doctors. I'd much rather I would definitely trust a regular average citizen as the district attorney or as the judge over any of these fucking pricks. They stay out of the limelight. When they run for office, they don't say any of their positions. The media doesn't press them on what they actually believe. And how many people they fucked over? Their racket is so ridiculous. When I think about who I'm not allowed to criticize in Pueblo, the ones that I'm most nervous about are, I guess, your violent fucking thugs with guns, whether they wear blue, badges or not. And then the establishment, the political establishment, that superintendent of the school board, she don't make me feel comfortable. And then the judicial system. The judicial system, the judges, the police. I would like to feel comfortable around the police. I would like to feel like they actually have they want to protect and serve the public, and I'm the public. But if they have a gang and it's a thin blue line and it's them versus us, well, then, that's bullshit. So here we're learning, if you want to be a judge, you have to be admitted to the practice of law in Colorado for the last 5 years, and you got to be here in Pueblo. So only fucking lawyers can be judges. I saw this one thing where Dennis Maes said that we didn't just need 7 judges, we need 11 judges. We got 7 judges in Pueblo? It's 107,000 people. 7 judges? How much shit is really happening every fucking day? God, they need us breaking the law. If we stop breaking the law, they wouldn't know what the fuck the whole thing would collapse. They'd have to make up reasons to come after us. So then it says, the original and 7 copies of the application must be filed with the ex officio chair. Why are they so specific? I heard they add the margins too. The margins must be 1 inches and some other shit. Anyways. The names of the nominating commission members and their address right there. So we can write the letters and be like, hey, Randall Jorgensen, Louis Machado, David Abeta, James Kershaw, Patrick Garcia, Christopher Burke, Louis Carlio. How did these 7 citizens get on this nominating commission for the 10th Judicial District? How did they get that? How did they get that position? Did somebody ask them? Was there a random drawing? I would love to serve in the jury pool. I've got a driver's license. I've registered to vote here. Is there any chance for me to ever be part of the jury pool in this random drawing of nominating commission, random names of nominating commission for a 10th Judicial District? Who the fuck are these people? I'm guessing they're just citizens. Unless they know somebody, so then there's fucking nepotism. But I think this is like some sort of, formality, some legal formality that the 10th Judicial District needs to go through. Yeah, we can hire whoever we want to hire, but first we got to get these 7 regular citizens part of this nominating commission to pick who we want them to pick. So how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to pick our buddies. We're going to pick our friends. I always pick these people. They always declare every criminal, every person that's accused of any crime. We always assume they're guilty. They always convict them all the time. So I don't know. I don't know the real reason. Patrick Garcia, Christopher Burke, James Kershaw. I could write them and be like, hey, how'd y'all do that? They probably wouldn't answer. They probably, what the hell is up with that? I guess I could drive to their house and be like, hey, P.O. Box, all right, this is their contact information. This is contact information for, old school. This is if you don't want anybody to contact you. Give me your Facebook address. You want me to contact you? What's your phone number? Fucking street address. I guess that's, I get to see where you're actually at. So it's pretty powerful stuff, right? Unless you got a P.O. Box address. So Michond, he's able to get out of it. But everybody else, right? Patrick Garcia, I could be like, just knock on his door and be like, yo, Patrick, I was going to write you a letter. I didn't think you'd respond. So just, how'd you get on this nomination committee? How did you get on this nomination committee? So then that's pretty much it. There's some other shit here, like don't use a font smaller than 12-point margins. And then they said that they want letters of references from up to 5 individuals who know your work. Filed with the original 7 copies. 7 copies needs to go there. Why? Because you can't fucking make the copies there. They can't fucking make the copies. They want you to make the copies, so you pay for all the copies shit, so they can pass it out to their fucking buddies. Kiss my ass. This is my fucking... Here's my application. It's online. You can pass it around to whoever the fuck you want to pass it around and print it up there. I just saved a bunch of money when it comes to trees. And then call Cheryl in the Colorado Supreme Court Clerk's Office with questions, 303-837-3753. So this was 2012. This is 5 years ago. This was when Maes, he's running for the school board now. Dennis Maes is the one that has his name on the Judicial Center, the new courthouse. His name is splashed right on it. So it's he's a pretty big deal. Dennis Maes is a big fucking deal. And the fact that this big deal is running for school board makes me think of John Quincy Adams. After the presidency, he ran for the House of Representatives. Feels like it's a demotion, or perhaps the school board is a lot more powerful here in Pueblo than what I thought it was. So anyways, I just wanted to get this more on the official record. This letter here, this letter definitely feels like it's among privileged folks. And I guess if you are part of their club, if you are a lawyer, that you've been sanctioned, you paid all them lawyer fucking dues, and you're an asshole, you talk like an asshole professor, real slow and stupid like, then they'll say, yeah, come on in. You know, you have a squeaky clean fucking, you've been throwing people in jail all your life, you've been fucking people's lives over your entire life, you've been a rubber stamping, non-questioning, you've been defending criminal cops your entire fucking life. Instead of you're squeaky clean. What, you've only been fucking over people that cops beat up? Well, hell, that's all that we give a shit about. Fucking over the people the cops fuck over. We don't question the cops. They do what the hell they want to do. There's nobody running them. Yeah, themselves. So, this is the world we live in.